Good morning. It's a cold March morning here in Michigan, and so I thought I'd spend a little time inside getting my super boxes for our beehive built. And so I'm going to show you today how I do that. Just really it's a matter of just putting them together, gluing them, and then getting a little brad put in them just to kind of give them a little more reinforcement. So I'm going to build one box for you and show you how that turns out. Then also I'm going to build a couple frames. And actually I'll probably build 10 frames, and then I'll show you how they all come together. Okay, so we're going to get started here. What I'm starting with here is my super box, and of course it's got the two sides right here, and then the two shorter sides, and then the longer one. So you can see the difference in size here. So it's pretty easy to get them figured out which ones to put there. But the thing about these sides are they have this groove that's cut out right here. And you want to make sure that's on top, of course, before you put these together. So that's on top. This one here, same thing. The groove is up on top. And we want to stack those like that. And then when you get your long sides, the groove that's cut out right here like this, you want this to be up like that, because it can go together like that, and then but then it's not right. So we want to put it together like this. And then the other one also make sure it's the correct way. So we're going to go ahead and try to put that together right now, and it's really a simple process. But what I'd like to do, but we should get some cardboard or some paper down here to kind of pick up any glue that might come down. So we're going to get that right now. Make this as natural as possible. All right, so that should be good enough right there. All right, so we're going to get our boards out here and get ready to put them together. So really, it's really grabbing a big one and a small one, and making sure they're configured correctly, like so. And I get my glue out here, and really, you just want to glue the corners or the inner parts right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some good glue on there. And really any wood glue will be fine to use. No special kind. This happens to be Gorilla Glue, but I like it. It seems to work pretty good. So I put a little bit of glue in there. And then make sure once again it's configured correctly. And then we're just going to get them put together. Probably a good way to do it like this. Just push them in really. Kind of muscle them in a little bit. If you have a rubber mallet or something, it'll be good, but I actually have a hammer, so I'm going to just tap them in there like that. I would not tap on the small one because it could break, so I'm just tapping on the big ones here. And then this long way this way. And you can see they're pretty good in there. It's a little messy. This one here, and actually you can tell it needs to go in a little better. I'm going to tap that in. So you see they're pretty good. A little messy, but that's okay because it's all going to get painted. And actually I like to smear that extra glue in the little cracks like that. Just so we have a little extra buildup in there. So we're going to get the other long one now. We're going to put that on. Same thing, we're going to glue it. So I was going to stand this up like so. And then get some glue in these little crevices here. I don't put in, you don't have to really goop it in real good. It's going to squeeze out once you put the other board on. I mean, some people really go overboard with it, whatever. That's why I put this paper down, to kind of pick up any excess that I'm going to wind up doing. And once again, I'm not too concerned about the spillage of it, because it's going to, there we go, it's going to get painted anyway. That one went in pretty good. Real simple, like so. This does need a few more little knocks here to get it pretty tight, as you can see. It's pretty tight in there. And once again, I like to spread the glue around like so, just to get it in there in those little crevices. And now I'm going to stand this up, and we'll try and move the camera here a little bit so you can see the top. Like so. And I'll put the glue in here. So you see they pretty much go together pretty good. You know, within 10 minutes or so you can have one done pretty simply, I think. And once again, the important thing is to make sure this groove is in configuration with your other one, which is like this. So I like to get it started. I wouldn't want to push it in or hammer it in first. I want to get it started by hand first. Once it starts though, you're doing pretty good. Move this over. All these super boxes are pretty uniform. They're pretty uniform depending on where you get them. But I think a medium box is the same no matter where you buy it from. There we go. So that box is pretty good. It's really pretty good. Smooth it around. Alright. It's nice. Then you can square it up. You know, you got a little bit of room to move it around still to square it up, because it isn't going to be perfect, but you want it to be. But your frames, when you put those in, they'll square up good. I've got some frames here. I'll show you how they fit in there. So here are some frames just to set in there. You can see how they'll fit, and you'll know that they'll fit in there pretty square away. So you can see how it moves though. It moves like that. So we're gonna get it. Make sure it's squared right. I'm gonna get some nails in there, some brads into the corners as well. Let's get those brads in while we can right now, while we're thinking of it. So I just have a little nail gun here. I'm just gonna hit it one time, like that. Just get a little brad in there, just to kind of hold it. Just a little more reinforcement, you know. So I'll spin it around, and then we'll get the other ones in a little bit here. Pretty simple. I do not want to do that one because this will split. I mean, you can re-drill it. You can drill it out and then hit it with this. But if you do this right here, it very easily could split. So I don't like doing that top one. I like to kind of leave that one, and I'd rather not push my luck with that. And you really do need to do both. You need to nail it and glue it. You don't want to do just one, because they do take some a lot of pressure. The bees they glue them together, and then you got to try to pry them apart when you're doing your checks on the hive, and you don't want to be worried about them falling apart, because that's the time you do not want to be doing that. Okay, so to that side. So we're doing both sides of these, because I'll show you in a second here. So we already did this side here, and now we're doing the other side. Getting the other part. feel them sticking out a little bit. Your little tap. Get all the way in. But there we go. That's how you build your super box. Inside too, there'll be some glue that will need to be cleaned up. But that's pretty much built right there. And now I'm gonna just get one frame built so you can see how we build those as well. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. And you have your frame pieces here. You have the 4 pieces for every frame. And it goes together pretty good, pretty simple. The top part is the biggest one. This one's a little smaller, you can see, in comparison. But the bigger one's the top. This one's the bottom. You see the groove. You want the groove face on the top one. You want it facing down, and the bottom one you want the groove facing up. And so we're going to set those like that. And then these side pieces, bigger one. You can see it's a little bigger there. At the top and the smaller at the bottom, so that's how they go, just like so, just like that. We're going to put it together. So these I like to put a good amount of glue on them, like so, like there, and then this side as well, like that. Get a good amount of glue, and this can get a little messy because it's going to squirt out. So I just push it in though, like that, and the same thing over on this side here. We're just going to push it in, like so. And then I like to put a little bit of glue in these parts right here. And it is going to squirt out later, but once again, no big deal. Important thing is make sure this groove is facing down. You want your grooves facing each other, otherwise you're not going to get the foundation in. So there we go. I don't even pound these with a hammer because they fit real good like that. I do put a brad in there though, and this you need to be careful of where the placement of it, because you don't want to split the wood. But that goes just like that. Got it right in there in the middle. Got it in there, and one on the top as well. Sometimes you can actually get 2 on the top. There's enough room there to get 2, but it's your own preference really. You don't need it. Go. And once this dries, you can't put the foundation yet, but once this dries you can get your foundation in, and it's pretty simple to do. Here's your foundation right here, and you want to start from the bottom. Once this dries, you're going to want to stick it in the bottom first, and then you just push it in place. You just push it through here with your thumbs, just shove it through there, and it'll go. It shouldn't be any problem fitting. I haven't had any problem yet, but we got to wait for that to dry. So that's how you do it. And I've got 5 of these boxes to build today, and then 50 of these frames actually. And so I've got to get to it, and I'll show you the finished product. Just one more thing I wanted to mention about these frames. Once again, the glue is going. You see the glue there. It really does squirt out good. I just like to push it in there, just like I do on the super boxes. Just like to spread it around a little bit. That way also it doesn't build up and glob like that. You want it to get into the crevices there. The more the better. You can get in those crevices at least. I wouldn't add additional to it, but just spread it around. That way it doesn't just kind of build up on you like that. So, okay everyone, we're back, and here's the box right here that I showed you earlier, and here's the 10 frames. And I do have the foundation in them already there, and but that's how it looks. It's squared up good. There's plenty of room here to move the different frames around. You know, when you're pulling them out, you need to have a little extra room. And some people actually only run nine frames in their box and spread them out. That way the bees will draw out the comb on the foundation a little bit more. You'll get more honey actually that way by running 9 frames rather than 10. But there it is, all 10 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And plenty of room to move them around. And it looks squared up nicely. So, and it fits good with my other boxes that I have. So anyway, that's how you build a box, and how you put the gluing in there, and as well as the brads, and how to build the frame. So hope you found this helpful. and hope you would subscribe as well to our channel. We're going to be doing a lot more bee stuff. We're going to show you how our colony comes along, as well as other things going on in our life. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.